Hello, Shahmeer. Do you hear us?
Yes, yes, I hear you guys.
Okay, we hear you loud and clear. The sound is excellent, and I already warm up the audience by telling them you were one of the best hackers in the world and also an entrepreneur, so many talents. So now we are eager to listen to you and your vision on maritime cybersecurity. So are you ready? Over to you.
Yes, yes, thank you. And don't
Excellent.
jump too hard on the stage. It may just break down.
Okay, over to you.
Thank you, thank you. First of all, I hope everyone there is doing amazing and you guys are having a great conference, a great event this year. And I sincerely apologize that I could not, make it, but I will be sure to, be there next year. And I believe that, MaTeCC has proven to be one of the best conferences in the region, bringing together experts in Morocco. Trust me, these guys that you're sitting beside, and girls, of course, they're not only the best of professionals, but the best of human beings. Because last time when I was there, I felt so welcomed, and I made lifelong friendships, and I still cherish and remember them. And I love these guys, including you, JC. Anyways, let's begin. So I hope I'm loud and clear, and I'm audible, and you can see my screen. I will do my best to keep it as engaging as possible.
Yes, we hear
so
you. So
maritime cybersecurity. Okay, great, great. Okay, so maritime cybersecurity. Why is it a problem? I've been doing research across a wide range of topics over the course of my career, and I try to, in whatever minuscule capacity I can, I try to research on topics that are non-conventional, that are different in nature, and that intrigue audience and viewers when they listen to me. Right now, I'm working on something called acoustic audio malware. So imagine if I'm successful in executing those, computers and mobile phones won't need internet connections to be hacked. You could just go near the computer or a mobile phone and pick up, just pull out your phone and play a sound in front of it, and it will get hacked. So let's hope, for all of our sake, that I don't get successful in that. But today, we are going to talk about maritime cybersecurity. A while back, there was a movie called Speed. And then there was another movie called Speed 2. And we just ignored it. The movie Speed 2 was basically about a yacht that was controlled by a hacker. That was a turning point in history because this movie actually taught us why maritime cybersecurity is important. And today we're going to dive a little bit deeper on it. The question that people ask, when I talk about this, that why would my ship get hacked? Or why would I'm assuming most of you know me. If you don't, I won't introduce myself. Just consider me a learner and someone who is just in their initial phases of learning and still learning and will always be learning. People ask, why would my ship get hacked? Well, it's because you asked for it. The components in a ship basically include a number of things. I can see that the slide hasn't changed yet, but I'm sure that it will. There are multiple components that are in a ship, right? Nowadays, we have something called VSAT, which is basically a satellite internet connection. So coming back to the question, why would my ship get hacked? It's because you put a VSAT on it and you forgot to secure it because you wanted internet. Another component is called the automatic identification system, which is used to basically identify nearby ships. And this particular component was installed in boats because they don't want to be crashed into each other and they need to be rescued. Well, okay, if you want to rescue them, let's secure that. Then comes in the GPS. Obviously, ships want to know their location. Yeah, that's understandable. But at the same time, if you want to know your location, you should not be broadcasting it to the rest of the world. Then there's the GNSS. Now, this is what we learned from the Titanic. You want to know where icebergs are? Okay, that's great. But who's going to secure your GNSS? And then we have also comms in a ship because you want to speak to everyone nearby, you want to speak to your crew. So each of the component in a vessel or a ship is an entry point for an attacker. An evil twin of mine can just pick up a ham radio from their Radio Shack or from their, dad's garage, and they can just go to the harbor and they can hack a ship. Now, moving towards the next part, and I hope this is audible and this is you can see this video clearly. Let's look at how ships are identified. Just like we have tracking systems for planes, we have tracking systems for vessels and ships as well. And if I were to play this video, you would see that this is a very open source, openly available tool called marinetraffic.com. And it basically contains the details and the locations of all of the boats and all of the ships that are either docked in a harbor, either they're grounded or in transit. Like this is a ship, a Nosley, and it's going from point A to B. You can see the navigational status, you can see the speed, it's docked somewhere, and its last AIS location was 23 hours ago. Then let's move towards something else. This is, we can even check for cargo vessels. So this is basically the amount of information that an attacker needs to move forward with his tricks. This is another drilling vessel, which was again going from point A to B. Its last AIS location is listed 19 hours ago, and there are a lot of different aspects to it as well. So very, very easy. Go to marinetraffic.com, pick up a ship. This is something very interesting. It's a vessel in Saudi Arabia. It's called Zamel 57. That is going to come very, very shortly to you. I know the video is lagging. But my point is that these boats and these ships, they're very, very easily trackable. And if something is trackable, it is hackable. Then we have something called the vessel finder, which is, again, a very, very important tool for ship tracking. These tools were originally created to assist vessel trackers for search and rescue purposes and whatnot. But what happened was that they relayed so much sensitive information out to the world that it is very easy to spoof the said information and basically spoof it to any external radio or beacon, and once that's done, they can be spoofed, and a ship's location can be very easily told to the system that it was not somewhere that it should be. There was a very important case study that we recently had that actually was going to, if successfully executed, was going to result in a war between America and Russia. And we don't want a war. We all know that, right? We run away from wars. an aircraft carrier's location was spoofed to be in the waters and shores of Russia, and it made the news. It was all over the news, and the guy happened to know about this information and snapped the ship's picture and put it on social media that this particular boat or this particular ship is not actually in the location it is being said. And it was very alarming at that point. So this is another tool called Vessel Finder, and we have very, very similar tools that we can use to check if a ship's docked, check the heading of the ship, check the license plate number, check the exact length of the ship as well. And this information is very, very easily available. Now let's talk about this. How to track sensitive or illegal ships. What about the ships or boats that are not broadcasting their AIS location? Believe it or not, there's something called ship spotting. Ship spotting is basically a hobby. It is a hobby for people to take pictures of ships and then they post online. Just like we checked right now, Zamil 55 was a boat that we were tracking, and if you go to shipspotting.com, actually, you'll see that particular ship has there are pictures of it. And this is Zeus. This is basically what you're going to see next. Zeus is basically Elon Musk's boat, and it's in Croatia right now, or it was recently. So if you know the owner of the boat and the name of the boat, you can just go ahead on one of these websites and track where that person is exactly. Ocean Titan, a cable-laying ship. Ships also lay cables all across the globe. There are internet cables that are used, everywhere. You can track Ocean Titan of its exact location. And if you somehow end up spoofing that particular location, sky's the limit. This, the next demo that you're going to see is something called Submarine Telecom Forum. Subtel Forum is basically a map of all of the boats and ships that lay internet cables all across the globe. And you can see these ships actually laying those cables right now, and you can track their exact location. Now, these ships or these boats, just like we checked, we're going to then come to shipspotting.com, enter the name, and here we see the Busan 322, is a very, very interesting boat that lays cables, and you can go to Subtel Forum, get that information out, put it in Ship Spotting or any other similar website, and it'll tell you exactly how or where to correlate that information. Now, information is the second best thing to hacking. We learned when we were initially learning hacking, I know all of you did, information gathering is 70% of the hacking part. Okay, this particular ship is in South Korea right now. Good. The manager is France, and the class society is whatever. It is a cable layer. It has laid, it weighs 13,978 tons. That just a wealth of information that you can see. Now let's talk about something called the aircraft carriers. And in this video, if you can see it, you will very clearly see how easy it is to check the location of an aircraft carrier. And this is Google Earth, by the way. I'm not doing any hacking as of yet. This is Google Earth, and here's what you can do for it. You basically have, we're going to go to Knoxville, I think, or Fort Knox or somewhere, and we are going to basically go to the harbor and see if we can track a couple of aircraft carriers or not. And Google Earth basically gives you a lot of information. Those are some aircraft carriers, but you don't know what they are or how they are. That's why the length of the ship from above is very, very important. Google Earth gives you the liberty of basically going back in history. So you can go back from 1985 till today, and you can actually check from here when this when this aircraft carrier arrived here. And if you are able to see it, you can see that there are a couple of jets parked on there as well. And if you reverse the date, you will be able to see when this aircraft carrier arrived. And you can do 3D as well. Now, if you were to go, that's very interesting, that you can see the radios and antennas. You can poke around those vulnerabilities as well, which we're going to see in a bit. And then you can go to vesselfinder.com and you can put in the code name of that particular aircraft carrier, and you will be able to, or even if you don't know the code name, you can just go to the exact location. You can check in SAR or military, and then you will be able to see that the USS Gov vessel, yeah, that's the vessel exactly, is currently parked in Norfolk, United States. So what happened here was, if someone were to go out onto their harbor, snap a picture of an aircraft carrier, and then go to shipspotting.com and enter that information, they would know exactly where, when was it parked, what is the weight, what is the length, what is the type, or whatever they want to do. And you don't need any specific skill set to do that. And next slide, this is basically the example that I was talking about. Hackers spoofed the ship's AIS system using a transponder, make it look like it was near the Russian border, but in reality, it was in the port. Now, how did they do it? They went to shipspotting.com or vesselfinder.com, identified the frequency that the ship was talking on, identified the exact length of the ship, the license plate number, the radars. All of that information is available online to you or anyone else to see. And then they just transmitted that information near Russia to make it look like that aircraft carrier or the Navy ship was in the Russian border, and the whole world was on the brink of World War III because someone was so stupid to broadcast that malicious information. And trust me, you can do this with just a ham radio. $5 worth of a radio with just a whip antenna. If I was there, I would have shown you. If they would have allowed me to, carry my ham radio through the airport security. But this is very interesting as well. How to tamper a ship's GPS. I don't know if you can hear the video, but it's very off the southern coast of Italy. There was a crew that was heading towards a location, and that particular location was spoofed using a custom-made GPS spoofing device. And the ship was actually supposed to reach on a particular endpoint, but the GPS locations were actually spoofed, and spoofing that GPS location resulted in that particular ship being led to another course, and the plot of that course was in a foreign country. And this ship was carrying foreign diplomats and dignitaries. It was a party yacht, and it was on autopilot. This is another very interesting demo that I have for you today. We have something called the VSAT system, which we just hacked, and hacking into VSATs is not a problem. You can just, very, very simply go to Shodan. You can put in the Sailor 900 VSAT, and then you can go ahead and identify the vulnerable VSATs. What we did was, in our research, we went ahead and coded an API with the Sailor 900 vulnerable VSATs, and then we correlated that data to the real-time ship tracking API, and we could, in real time, see the location of those vulnerable ships, and we could hack them. We had to deliberately delay the feed so that it was not being, so that it should not be used for malicious purposes, but You know, we have this facade or idea to think that hacking is difficult, or hacking is something that is out of the blue, or, you know, we can't do it or whatnot. It just takes logics. It just takes a good mind that thinks. Now, we've talked a lot about ships. Let's talk about oil rigs. 35% of the oil comes from the ocean. The other comes from the desert. And we were able to successfully hack an oil rig. And the hacking part was so stupendously easy that you're just going to see what happened. This is how a conventional oil rig network works. We have the DCN, we have the corporate network, then we have the satellite, the propulsion systems, and, you know, where the crew is. All of these are segregated. Now, during our research, when we were doing it, we asked the crew to send us pictures, and we identified that there was a network server at that particular moment in time. There was a server that was connected to a direct internet line, and it was on the corporate social network. And when it was on the corporate social network, it means that it was directly connected to the corporate internet. Now we had a bridge directly from and to the corporate internet. And, you know, now we just had to do, what we had to do was we just had to basically go ahead and identify where that corporate network was. And we just came to know that the ship's manager had to basically, network manager, had to basically climb up and down 13 flights of stairs every day, and you know, he didn't want to do it, so he just ended up installing TeamViewer on that corporate network, and we just gained access to that TeamViewer, and we were going to potentially bankrupt a small nation by stopping their oil rig program. Obviously, we're ethical hackers, we don't do that. Ships are vulnerable. So are their relative assets, so are their systems that are associated with those ships. We've all heard of the Colonial Pipeline hack. Let me just show you how easy it was. So this is, what you're going to see next is basically a map of how the Colonial Pipeline, since we're talking about oil, I just threw that in. Colonial Pipeline runs from US to Canada, goes around a lot of states, and this is the hack. What happened was, on May 6th, there was an intrusion, and on May 7th, the ransomware attack began. How it happened is also a very funny and easy story. There's something called the dark web. We all know that, we glorify it, but trust me, 90% of the tools that are available on the dark web are easily available on your public and internet as well. This is a tool that I don't want to name, so you're all going to go look for your leaked passwords online. If you type coalpipe.com, you will see the amount of email addresses associated with Colonial Pipeline, and you will see that the passwords of those email addresses is coalpipe.com. So we were told, and if my memory serves me right, we were told that the Colonial Pipeline was hacked because of a legacy VPN network data breach, and the password was leaked. Well, I'll be damned, because the password was so easy that it was basically available for any attacker. We don't know. One of those network administrators may have had the password coalpipe.com as well. And we can see that right now in front of our screens. My point is, you don't need sophisticated equipment. You just need a $30 worth of a Baofeng radio. You just need a whip antenna. You just need to listen to maritime frequencies that are in front of you right now. Maritime frequencies are transmitted in conjunction to satellite communication, and these are the ranges. By the way, these ranges, I didn't find them. They're easily available on the internet as well. You have your radio, you go up to your roof, or you're near your harbor. And I'm probably thinking you're not going to be able to listen to this, but this is live live feed between an aircraft carrier and multiple ships. And if you see, you're going to see that there's voice coming in. I can hear it, but you can't because Zoom doesn't work like that. We were able to just intercept the voice, and we could listen what they were talking about, the landing positions and whatnot. And this was not illegal because they're talking on open frequencies. This is not something malicious because we gathered the data from open source intelligence. And just with the wits and just with our thinking capacity, we can very, very easily bring down a small nation. Next, I was thinking to hack a nuclear plant in front of you, but maybe we'll do that next year, guys. And yeah, I think that's the end of it. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm open to like having questions if you want.
Thank you, thank you, and thank you for making it also so clear and comprehensive. I mean, we feel smart, and it's also what you have shown is also echoes what we have heard before. It's really the mindset, I mean, of the hacker, and you're a typical hacker. I mean, being smart, innovative, but also rigorous. I mean, you know exactly what you're looking for, how to do it. So, really combination of creativity, but also, I mean, science and process. So, so that was really super interesting. So, thank you, Shahmeer. Do we have a question in the room? Do we have any question? We could have you. If I don't see hands, you have one question. So. Maybe you take my microphone.
I will not let Shahmeer without ask question. It's Faisal speaking. Hi, Shahmeer. How are you? It's Faisal speaking.
Great, great.
My question is
speaking?
Faisal.
Oh, Faisal, yeah, we prayed together last year. I remember.
Yeah. My question is, we have seen how we can hack, and we say the level of security that we have in this system, and not only system because it's components. Have we any framework, something to secure that? We have seen how it's easy to hack. I don't know if we have something, some research that you are already doing, or it's already done to secure that. Is this phrasing?
Oh, it looks like we have just been betrayed by technology. So let's wait another. Yeah, I think it's.
Go on, I can. You can ask again, maybe.
Yes, you have told us how we can hack into these systems, and the Faisal asked, I mean, what has been done to fix these vulnerabilities that you have found?
Virtually nothing has been done to fix these vulnerabilities that I've found or identified. Like I just showed you, I just showed you the list of tools that you can use. I showed you the list of different APIs that you can use. I showed you open source, freely available tools that you can very, very easily go ahead and utilize in your research. I think that the point that I'm trying to make here is you don't need sophisticated equipment, you don't need sophisticated tools. You just need to have an open mindset, and you need to understand how things work. And once you understand how these things work, it's the same case with everything else. Once you understand how things work, you get a very broad idea of how to break them. And trust me, I am the most modest example of what logic can do. I'm sure most of you in the audience are very, very skilled in programming and hacking or whatever. But my only thought process is that I base my research on logics, and I utilize open source knowledge that is out there, and I think of how an attacker would use it, because let's be fair. An attacker is not able to directly hack into an aircraft carrier. Okay, we know that. But what can it do with the location of that aircraft carrier, or with the trajectory or the plot of that aircraft carrier? We saw the example. The hacker can make a war happen, you know, between Russia and the U.S. So nothing has been done to fix it as of now. I hope there will be in the near future. But again, man, read a few books, think logically, and you can do a much better job than I did, by the way, because you're very, very smarter than I am. So just don't get yourself in jail. That's the only advice.
Thank you, Shahmeer. So in a way,
any other questions?
Thank you, and I think you gave us a reason for our existence, for high-tech school and for MaTeCC. So thank you. It was a perfect ending for this ceremony. I will now hand over to our masters of ceremony. So over to you.